So, Misha B's entire situation and her expose has really started a snowball effect when it comes to X Factor, and so much more took place that I thought I would go through everything and, you know, look at threads on Twitter and look at clips online of a lot of different problematic stuff that actually took place that has never really been spoken about or addressed, and I feel like it needs to be.
That thing looks like the deli counter at Sainsbury's.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Murali. Hope you guys are doing well today. If you haven't already, click that button for daily and consistent content. Head over to my Instagram, Murali. Subscribe to the channel. Click that button. Subscribe, and let's get into this video. So, the whole Misha B situation, I don't need to address it because I've already addressed it in the video prior, but I feel like this is a very important situation because there was a lot of gaslighting, a lot of racialized gaslighting that took place on that show due to a systemic, industrialized, entertainment-related racism, and I feel like it really is rife and just really sad and disgusting, not only today, but it was really in your face back in the day, but nobody really said anything about it. And this is what I mean. And I wanted to just do a quick compilation of really just the vicious past of X Factor, citing information from articles, from threads on Twitter, which will all be credited in my bio so that you guys can look at it further detail if you guys want to. But, you know, one exhibit that I wanted to talk about was Daniel Johnson.
What?
No.
What did you say? What did you say?
Now, for those of you who don't know who Daniel Johnson is, he is somebody who was a contestant on the show. He was ridiculed time after time after time on stage. The gag is, they don't ridicule you off stage. They want to ridicule you on stage so that they can use that for ratings. That's what they want to do. They want to use you, and they will use anything by any means necessary for ratings because that's what they needed for the show to survive. 100k in the back, just saying. We have a situation where he was obviously on stage and Danny Minogue actually has the audacity to question his bisexuality. But
if we're to believe everything we read in the paper, maybe it didn't need to change the gender reference in it.
What?
No? Everything we read in the paper, he didn't need to change the gender reference in it. No, don't believe it. I just have to say it, Tanya.
if we believe what's in the papers, so disgustingly unprofessional and just so vile. We then also have Louie Walsh again saying to another, you know, person of color contestant that you are too overly confident.
But you're definitely the most overconfident person in the competition. You need to become more likable.
There's just too much confidence, and I'm saying I don't understand what this means. Like, are you not meant to be confident when you're on stage? Are you not meant to enthrall the audience? Why is that an issue for one contestant but it's not an issue for another contestant? And then in further stages of the competition, they would then ridicule him again because they felt like he just lost his spark or lost his mojo. Well, if you constantly antagonize somebody, scrutinize somebody, saying they're too overly confident, analyze their situation where you don't need to, and completely depreciate them, then you wonder why they become the way they do.
You've lost your mojo, and I don't know, you feel like you've been stripped back too much.
It's just really the icing on the cake. It's as if they're told to say these things by executive producers, but regardless of whether they are, the judges aren't innocent by any means necessary and are just as accountable. But Daniel Johnson was somebody who was crippled by this whole system, as you can tell by what we are seeing here, which is the unprofessionalism when it comes to the show. Then we have Louie Walsh, who straight up describes a black male contestant as a little Lenny Henry.
You're like a little Lenny Henry!
And that in itself sparks confusion for me because Lenny Henry was not a singer, he was a comedian. So what the hell does that have to do with this? Only because he's just a black guy that suddenly you want to describe him as Lenny Henry. And both of them have completely forged different paths of careers. One is in music, one is on X Factor. The one guy does stand-up comedian, one guy is like, how do these two corroborate? It doesn't make any sense. That comparison was increasingly reductive and it just did not need to happen. Point blank period. Point blank period. We then also have a particular contestant who goes and says her name, but of course they can't be bothered to say her name, which is from Asian origin.
What's your name? 21.
Because they find it too difficult or hard to pronounce, or they're just kind of mocking it and degrading it, and the derogatory tone is just disgusting. It honestly is vile. We then have a guy who, you know, is able, in the early days of this competition show, was talking about, you know, singing and so forth, and was in his Girag and, you know, glasses, and had like another pair of glasses. And the funny thing about the situation is that he actually can sing.
Champagne.
So this was as if used just for mockery. And we even have Sharon Osbourne, who references his Girag as looking like something from the deli counter in Sainsbury's.
That thing looks like the deli counter at Sainsbury's.
Absolutely.
And it's like, why did that comparison need to be made? Where's the sense in that, please? Because I can't find any. The guy can actually hold a note. That is the gag of this entire situation. He can sing. He's got a voice. So why are you not putting him through? I don't understand. I find it to be stupid. Then we have another situation where they are basically publicly fat shaming a woman and say that you need to go on a diet, you're just too fat, it's just too much.
I'm overweight, basically.
You really are.
The bruntness of it, that's what Simon Cowell was kind of applauded for back in the day, to be so brunt about everything and anything. You can still be brunt without being so strictly offensive. You can do it. It's like these white male comedians who suddenly feel like they've lost a job because they can't do blackface anymore. You can still be funny. You don't have to cuss out a race to be funny. I know it's hard for you guys to understand that, you white male comedians, but you definitely can. We then also have another situation where Louie Walsh and Mel B, and you can see that he's putting his hand around her ass, and she doesn't even know. She's increasingly uncomfortable by the entire situation, and she's just sitting there, and you know, he's tapping her ass like that. Why the hell are you touching her ass? Are you stupid? Look at her face. Why are you touching her ass like that? And you can tell that she's irritated by it. This guy Louie Walsh is just so sneaky and just vile, just one of those weird creeps. Why are you touching her ass like that without her permission? Who gave you the audacity to think that you can even go near her ass with your clapped face? I don't understand. You look like a prune. Like, you're just some dry antelope. Nobody's asking for you. You're just confused. Go to sleep, please, because nobody asked for. Like, what the hell were you doing? What were you doing? Now, this situation really has triggered me more than anything, and that's the whole situation with Gamu.
So no, I'm sorry, Gamu. I don't think I can take you any further.
And Miss Cheryl Tweedy, where we had Cher Lloyd, who couldn't even sing the damn flipping song because her throat was hurting or whatever, and she said, I was done, and she was crying.
Do you want to come back, Lita?
My girl could not even handle a note.
Who do you think you are?
With whatever she sang. Gamu came out, sang her heart off. Now, look, listen, facts are fact. If Gamu came out and her voice was dead, the girl could not sing, then she deserved to go home. The girl couldn't sing, but the girl could not only hold a note, but she was exceedingly better, far better than Cher Lloyd when it came to that comparison or whatever. But Cher Lloyd went through over Gamu. Katie Wazel went through over Gamu. The two white girls who could not handle notes or carry them, regardless of whether they could sing somewhat, Gamu was better than both of them. Facts on facts on facts. So why didn't she go through? I find that to be very irritating, because it's just such a harsh the comparison there is ridiculous. Gamu is way up here, Cher Lloyd is right here. So surely one who could sing better should be able to go through. What's not clicking, guys? What's not clicking? Then we have the situation with Sharon Osbourne, where she gets really personal towards a contestant called Steve Brookstein, who actually won the first season. She tore into him and claimed his humble persona is an act and he's full of BS, all done on live TV. So we have these judges who have done stuff like this on TV, and a lot of people we never really saw past it at the age. Most of us, you know, me, were quite young back then. I was probably around in year 7, year 6 at the time when, you know, this show was really going into full force and so forth. But the fact that she could cripple into him in such a disgusting manner, such a bullying manner, is just vile, man. Absolutely vile. Then we have another exhibit where Simon Cowell says he wants to hire a contestant with African clothing to be used as his rug, which is another kind of, you know, situation known to be just, you know, trying to be funny, but he's really not. But let me know your thoughts on when it comes to this. I wanted to highlight several different issues when it came to X Factor and how problematic it actually really is. Subscribe to the channel and let me know your thoughts on when it comes to this. Subscribe, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.